Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into, a world where destiny isn't just some vague idea. It's like real, fiery, winged, even.
Yeah, it's a place where power isn't about muscles,
Yeah.
and courage. It pops up where you least expect it.
Exactly. We are diving deep into Rebecca Yarros's huge bestsellers, Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. And our mission today, kind of drawing from this emotional summary you shared, is to really get under the skin of why these books hit so hard.
hmm
We want to look past the awesome action scenes and find that surprising depth and maybe figure out what these stories are actually asking you, the listener.
Okay.
So yeah, get ready. Think dragons choosing riders and strength meaning something totally different.
It's that challenge to assumptions that grabs you right away, I think. It's not the biggest, toughest person who gets chosen. The dragons, they're looking for something else entirely, something inside.
Which is such a great twist on the usual warrior thing, isn't it?
Totally.
And that brings us right to Violet Sorrengail, our very unlikely hero. When we meet her, she is so not a fighter. It says she has ink-stained fingers, not sword-calloused hands.
Right. She's a scholar.
Mhm.
Small, kind of fragile physically. Never supposed to be a rider, let alone fight.
And yet she's thrown into Basgiath War College, which sounds just terrifying.
Oh, it is. It's described as a merciless crucible. Cadets either learn to fly on dragons or they end up, well, broken. The place chews up the unworthy and spits out bones. Seriously intense, especially for someone like Violet.
So how does she do it? How does someone who seems on the surface so vulnerable make it through that kind of meat grinder?
Well, that's the key, isn't it? She doesn't survive because she can outfight everyone. She survives because she's smart. She's got this fierce spirit, and like the summary says, a mind sharper than any blade.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it completely flips what we think heroism is. It's not about brute force.
Exactly. It forces you to rethink resilience. And in Fourth Wing, she's dealing with, deadly trials, political maneuvering,
Yeah.
all that. But it's the relationships that really, really make it more than just an action story.
Right. That connection with her dragon, the one that should have just, torched her.
Searing.
And then there's the guy, the brooding, dangerous boy, as Zayden.
Ah, yes,
And
Zayden.
you're just never quite sure. Is he protecting her? Is he going to destroy her? It keeps you hooked.
It's described perfectly as lightning in a bottle.
Okay.
Volatile, yeah,
Yeah.
but also breathtaking. And there's so many secrets.
So much shadow.
Yeah. Trust itself becomes a kind of battlefield.
Yeah.
And love, it's like its own kind of war. It's definitely not simple.
No straightforward romance here.
Not at all. It's tangled up in survival, politics. The whole first book is really about her just proving she even belongs there.
Okay, so she proves herself in Fourth Wing. She survives. She belongs. But Iron Flame, that changes things up again, doesn't it?
Big time. Now she's not just trying to survive day to day. Now she's questioning everything.
Like what kind of truths start coming apart?
Well, the things she thought were solid, the history she learned, the reasons for the war, it all starts to unravel like parchment in fire. If you think about life, it's like finding out the foundations you built on aren't what you thought. It's about systemic lies, really.
And the stakes get even higher.
Oh, yeah. The enemies are smarter, maybe closer than she thinks. The betrayals, they cut deeper. And the cost of just knowing the truth, let alone fighting for it, it becomes almost crushing.
Wow.
It really digs into that question of, okay, you proved yourself, now what? What happens when leadership and grief and just the weight of it all starts tearing at you?
That phrase you used earlier, aching humanity, that really hits home. Where do you see that most clearly? Because, yeah, the dragons are cool, the trials are tense.
But it's not just that.
No, it's that humanity threaded through it all. That's the depth, right?
That's absolutely the core of it, I think. You see Violet dealing with so much internally, trauma, real chronic pain, self-doubt constantly, and this immense pressure of being chosen when maybe all she wants sometimes is just a break, to rest.
Which feels so relatable even in a fantasy setting.
Exactly. Her fight stops being just about, can I ride this dragon? It becomes about owning her place in a world that never thought she'd make it to the end of the week.
Yeah.
And that struggle connects, I think, whether it's literal dragons or just life's battles.
And speaking of dragons, they aren't just mounts, are they? They feel like real characters. Vivid and soulful, the summary called them.
Oh, absolutely. They have personalities, motivations,
Yeah.
and their role is fascinating. They act like mirrors to the riders. They don't choose the strongest physically. They choose riders with the fiercest hearts.
Which circles back to that core theme again, inner strength.
Right? Spirit,
Yeah.
courage. The dragons are allies, sure,
Yeah.
protectors, but also kind of like spiritual guides in a way.
Imagine that weight. This ancient, powerful being chose you. Not for your muscles, but for your heart.
It adds such a layer to partnership, doesn't it?
It really does. And Yarrow's writing itself, it just pulls you in. Emotion that thrums like wings beating against your ribs.
Hmm.
That's powerful imagery.
She really makes you feel it. The
Yeah.
world she builds is brutal, yeah, but it's also got this strange beauty.
And the characters, too. Broken, yet luminous. That feels right.
Hmm. It's not sanitized. There's blood, there's real sacrifice, there's love that costs something, but underneath it all,
There's hope.
yeah, a quiet, roaring hope.
It makes the danger feel immediate because you care so much. Her descriptions are so visceral. You feel Violet's pain, her fear.
You're right there with her.
You really are. It's
Yeah.
not just reading a story. It's like living in that world for a while. And that's why I think these books connect with so many people. They feel like they're for the ones who've been underestimated,
Yeah.
for the ones who've been told to stay quiet, stay safe, stay small. It's a powerful message. It really is that idea. You are not too fragile for the fire. You were forged by it. And when you rise, you won't just fly. You'll set the sky ablaze. Wow. I mean, talk about an affirmation for anyone who's ever felt like they weren't enough.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for fantasy that has real heart, romance that has teeth,
Romance with teeth, I like that.
yeah, and heroines who go through hell, who bleed and burn, but still choose to get back up, this is it. It's about resilience, ultimately.
So, wrapping up our deep dive here on Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, it leaves us and leaves you with some pretty big questions, doesn't it?
It does. Like, what if the softest heart could carry the heaviest crown?
And what if courage wasn't about not being afraid, but about being willing to fly straight into the fear?
Powerful questions to ponder. Think about your own life, Those times you felt underestimated, or the times you had to dig deep and find strength you didn't know you possessed. These stories are kind of a reminder, aren't they? That sometimes the deepest understanding are real capabilities. They emerge from those fiery, challenging moments.
Finding your own dragons to fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are yours?